my dear, you'll collapse with a bag of fiber on your head and ain't nobody coming to help you nowhere. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, Stash is my name, and today we're basically going to be discussing some of the things I wish I knew growing up. So sit tight and let's dive right in. So for my first point, I will say this loud and clear. Almost all the things that I've ever despised in my life, and maybe not everything, but half of the things I've ever despised in my life, I've had to experience. And this is not from a place of, like, yes, truth is sometimes I would be judging people, like, say for example, if someone is drinking alcohol and, you know, doing all sorts of things, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, why are you doing that, you know? Or like early pregnancies or unplanned pregnancies, all those things are things I used to look at like, oh my god, me, it cannot happen to me. No, I haven't been pregnant before, but like the thing is, there are things that I've gotten to experience that I used to think, no, I cannot be caught. It can't happen to me. Like, why would it happen to me? I'm very careful. I'm a Christian. But let me tell you, when you come to understand that it's not by your own doing that God keeps you away from certain things, you should not be proud. You should not be thinking, oh my God, it's in my doing. That's why I haven't gone through this and this and that. So yeah, for me it was a lesson. The moral of the story is never judge someone for what they're going through or what has happened to them. One, mistakes happen. Two, it's not in your doing that certain things won't happen to you. It's by the grace of God that He protects you. And even when other things happen to you, first of all, it's just a matter of time before you know if something will happen or not. And then when it happens, I think it's important for us to remember that, okay, now that you have gone through this, you can then be empathetic to someone else, you know? So for me, at first, I thought, you guys, I cannot be caught like in a club. I cannot be caught testing alcohol, you know? But these are things that I've done, and I now know from a place of knowledge that I'm not holier than thou. I'm not holier than Mother Mary. I can literally do the worst of the worst, but it's God that protects me and keeps me from doing some of those things. So that's my point number one. Bringing us to point number two, I got to understand that it's okay to have feelings. And by feelings, I mean the good feelings, the good emotions, the bad emotions, the sad emotions. I think because of how I grew up, I almost tended to believe that because I was such a happy person, a jolly person, I was not allowed to feel sad or be angry at someone if they did something that's unbecoming, you know. So for me, it took me time to understand that actually you are a human, so it's okay for you to cry, it's okay for you to laugh, it's okay to express yourself, you know. And it took me also understanding who I am as a person, my triggers and everything. That's when I got to know that, okay, when someone does this, I don't like it. When someone does this, I like it. So then you're able to know and to teach people how to treat you. Because before I thought I was immune to feelings, especially bad feelings and romantic feelings. I always thought like, I'm such a big girl, like I cannot be caught, you know. I can't be caught feeling, you know, bad, feeling sad, or telling someone I like them. But I think when you get in touch with your feelings, it's easier for you to deal with whatever comes at you, because you know that, okay, I don't feel happy about this, I feel happy about this. And I'm okay with not going through this process, and I'm not okay with going through this. So for me, that helped me better understand who I am as a person, and also it helped me now from my feelings. I'm able to set my boundaries as a person. Okay, so bringing me to the third point of some of the things I wish I knew growing up. Saving is a very important part of any person's life, especially someone who is earning. For as long as you get some coins, either at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, saving is very important. And I wish this is a culture that I had when I was a child, so that I could grow up with it, because it's been a very big challenge for me, especially because most of the people who know me know that I'm a gig person. Like, I've been in the gig culture for quite a long time, whereby at least this time I'm able to secure this much, sometimes I'm able to get this much. But if at the end of the day you have nothing to show for it, then if you need maybe to take care of medical expenses and you really cannot, That shows you that, okay, yes, you've been earning, yes, you've been busy, but then what do you have to show for? You're not able to reward yourself because you're always working and you have nothing. More of the story for me when it comes to saving, I would rather, if I get 10,000 shillings, I give my tithe of 1,000 shillings, because as Christians we are called to give back our tithes and offering. Then from the 10,000, at least I get 2,000 and save that, even if it's not taken into the bank, but at least I know I have a small piggy bank where I'm going to put that, so that I know that from the 10,000 shillings I've been able to save 2,000 shillings, give a tithe of 1,000 shillings, and then I'm able to use the rest of the 7,000 shillings according to my financial needs. So this gives you a bit of freedom so that you stop coming from a place of lack. Every single time someone talks about money or something that requires money, you get pissed. You're like, yeah, but no, like, what's their problem? Why are they always trying to get money from us, yet you don't have nothing? That's why you are mad. But someone who knows how to budget for their finances and save some money knows that, okay, I have a budget towards, giving, a budget towards clothing, a budget towards, saving, all those things, so that you're able to have your life together. It reduces on the anxiety, to be honest, knowing that you have transport for the next day, that for the people who are applying for jobs, you have transport to buy a nice dress or a nice skirt or a nice shirt or trousers when you're going for that interview. You have transport there. Or if you get hired, that you even have the first transport that's going to get you to the place before you get salary, because you don't want to be saying, I didn't show up to work because I had no transport. So it's more like a muscle to flex. The more you learn the more you save, the easier it gets for you by the day. It's hard sometimes, but you stop creating excuses as to why you're not saving, and you just start saving anyway. Taking us to point number 4, it's very important and okay to think about something before you make a decision. This is where I'm coming from. Again, most of these things I'm going to give as personal examples because I've lived first-hand experience. That's the reason as to why I say these are some of the things I wish I knew as I was growing up. I always say, for example, if I need to go with a friend to the mall, and they call me up and they're like, hi, what are you doing today? I would say nothing, right? Even if I know I have a ton of work to do, I would just say, you know what, it's okay, let's just go. That people-pleasing attitude. You've not thought about the transportation you're going to incur, the time you're going to spend, especially if it's not something that you planned for prior. So I used to just, if someone asks me something, before thinking, I would just say yes or no, or give them an answer. But then recently I met someone who actually taught me this the hard way, that it's not that they don't want to make a decision, and also it depends on what kind of decision, what's happening, but it's very important to give something some thought before you say yes or no, or I don't know, or I don't care. And this even goes for things that are very sensitive, like emotional decisions. In the moment when you're feeling everything you're feeling, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion, you want to make a decision there and then. You're excited. You want to tell your friend about this or that. But you sometimes don't get to think, what are the implications of this? And will this thing matter maybe next week? Say, for example, if you're angry about something and you just say out whatever it is that you're feeling in material moment, it can destroy, and words can build or kill or break. So it's very important that I learned how to first say, you know what, can you give me some time to think about this? Even if it's a job application, yes, I really wanted the job, yes, the job has come through, or it's a deal, or it's a gig, I always tell myself, sleep on it. If you still want to do it tomorrow, then go for it. Because in between there is some information you could acquire that you didn't have before, and then now you can't go back and say, sorry, so even when I had confirmed that yes, I'll be available tomorrow, now I can't anymore. So even when the pressure is on, someone needs a decision there and then. Of course, there are things that are time sensitive. This could be a matter of life and death, so you have to learn how to decide. But it's very important to say, you know what, can you give me a day or two to think about this, or to think on it before I can give you a decision? So I learned the hard way, guys. It was hard because waiting on some people and like, you know, them deciding and everything. In that moment, you're like, you know what? I don't really want to do this with you anymore. But in the long run, you get to understand that it also saves you a lot sometimes. And maybe someone's delay to make a decision could be a blessing in disguise, you know. Now, for a person like me who is in business, sometimes you'll tell someone, yes, I have this in stock. Then you check and it's not there. Or you're like, because you want to please the client, you're like, yes, we can get it. But now I've learned to say we actually can't do this, or we don't deal in this anymore. Or if my team is not able to give me that thing in material time, I would rather tell you that we don't do it anymore than say, yes, I can give it to you. And then it's not there. All of a sudden you look like a bad person. So yeah, I've learned to actually think on things before I give an answer, because it could save you. It could literally save your life. Bringing us to point number 5 is solitude is very, very important. Again, now for a person like me, I'm an extrovert. Yes, I'm an extrovert who has learned to appreciate introversion. And this is because before that, I was very social. I was always at events. I was always meeting people. I was never home. Like the times when I was still staying home, I was those people who are never home. I don't even know why. Okay, someone would say I was escaping from house, but honestly, it's just like I was always trying to cover up something. I was always somewhere, meeting someone, doing something. So I was always among people. And so being among people sometimes requires you to serve those people, to be there for those people, to entertain those people, to entertain their needs. And then what do you have left for yourself? It was very difficult to make sense of the fact that actually, sometimes you actually have to stop. You stop being a daughter, you stop being a friend, you stop being an employer, you just be you in your space as a person doing some quiet time. Then for us who like praying, you're like, okay, yes, I prayed, but God hasn't yet answered. Yet the moment He's supposed to be even talking to you, you're running off to an event, you're running off for a gig, you're running off to a party, you're running off to somewhere. Solitude has taught me that you will get to learn many more things about yourself if you pay attention to yourself, to how you feel, how your body feels, how your mind feels, how some people make you feel. Because if you're always among people, it's very hard sometimes to see that actually when I leave this person, I miss them, or when I leave this person, I'm more peaceful without them. You know, so I learned the hard way. That actually some days you're going to have to be alone. So the pandemic taught me, if anything, everyone is up to trying to survive, like trying to remain alive. So you're not going to be hanging with people, you're not going to be doing game night, you're not going to be going for weddings, events. All those things were literally cut off. So the most that we had was social media. And then I came to understand that I actually got to start my business in the time of solitude, when I sat down and tried to understand what is it that I like to do, what is it that I don't like to do, which businesses make me happy, which business make me sad. Oh guys, by the way, sorry about if you get to hear any background noise. It's because there is a nearby church and I think they do have fellowship today or something, so it's a bit loud, but let's keep pushing. So yes, solitude is very liberating, because then you get to know that, okay, this is Stella. On a day when I'm not feeling great, this is what I can do to feel great. On a day, these are my triggers, this is what brings me anxiety, this is what excites me, this is what I would like to do tomorrow. And after learning how to do that, actually I learned how to enjoy my solitude when I first left home, because for a full year I was staying alone, completely alone. I had no housemate, I had very few people visiting, or close to none. So I got to enjoy my personal time, understand the things that I like. I learned to nurture myself into, okay, that now you don't have a parent to watch over you, tell you come back this time, do this. So are you able to be the Stella that has been groomed and trained for a good life without your parents' eye, without your sister's eye, without your friend's eye, you know. So again, these are things that I wish I knew earlier, but now I know better, and I'm still learning and practicing and getting to understand what it is and how best to spend my time alone, and how best I can do it without feeling like, oh my god, why am I here alone? I'm now more interested in actually dealing with myself first before I deal with the world. So guys, never underestimate the power of solitude, because you get to hear from God, you get to hear from yourself, from your body, from your mind, from your soul, and then you're able to refuel and serve other people. Bringing us to our last point of today's topic is, it's very important to keep healthy and fit. Here is why. Before, of course, when you're growing up, you're involved in more playful activities, your body is quite active, you're able to do certain things. But then as we grow up, different people get different experiences. Some people were once thin, so they gain some weight. Some people were once maybe thick, and now they get to lose weight. But in all this, our bodies keep changing, and I think so should we. Our habits have to keep changing, our feeding habits have to keep changing. If you are able to watch movies all the way to 6 a.m. in the morning and still make it to office at 8 a.m. when you were younger, those are things that you can no longer do now. Not that you can't do them anymore, but they will task you in the long run, because maybe you're no longer as strong as you used to be before. So I've come to respect the value of exercise. I mean, there are times when you're feeling like, I should not do this and everything, but I guess it comes back to the discipline of it all, and the reason as to why you believe you should be healthy, because the pandemic helped us understand that, okay, if your body is weak, you might be a young person, but you will go. So if your body has been fighting and producing maybe white blood cells, fighting for you, of course, that might not save you from everything, but I guess you have a better fighting chance if you've been feeding well, feeding on your vitamins, taking your water, resting enough, compared to someone who is not doing any of that at all. So I've learned to be more intentional with my exercises, with my walks, because now the kind of business that I do heavily requires me to spend like extensive hours in town, carrying things, walking around, looking for clients, you know, merchandise and everything. So if you are unfit, my dear, you'll collapse with a bag of fiber on your head, and ain't nobody coming to help you nowhere. So guys, let's try to keep as healthy as possible. I wish I was more consistent with my exercises, like how I was doing it in 2017. My God, you guys, I was like a small animal. I was active. I was very active. I was going to the gym every single day, 6 days a week. And it's because also through that I got to build a friendship base and got to meet other people who are committed to this cause. But the gym closed, unfortunately. But I've decided to try and do it at home with more consistency, because I'm not going to make up no excuses of I don't have a gym, or I don't have the biggest gym fees, or I don't have a gym outfit. For me, what I need to know is I'm still able to run if I need to run. I'm still able to jump if I need to jump. I'm still able to kneel if I'm able to kneel, you know. So again, that's something now I'm being more intentional about. I knew about this when I was growing up. I just decided to be complacent about it, but I'm now trying to be more intentional with my body, with what I eat. Sometimes, yes, I'll fall off the radar. Guys, it happens all the time. But it's more about being accountable to yourself and always remembering the reason as to why you are doing something. For me, my reason behind trying to be healthy and keeping healthy is my body has served me for the past 20 how many years. It's my time to also give back to it, you know, in how I treat it, because from my body then I'm able, if I love myself, whichever size I'm at, I should be able to love myself, minister to other people as well, take care of my family. But if I'm also not healthy, how am I then going to take care of someone who is also not feeling well? So you see, it's like a ripple effect. When you're putting in that drop, it might seem like a drop in the ocean for spending some 30 minutes working out and everything, but it comes back to pay back later when you're able to do certain things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me and for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Do share with your friends, and also you can tell us in the comments what are some of those things you wish you knew as you are growing up, some of the things that you've got to learn now, or you're still trying to learn that you wish you knew when you were growing up. Other than that, do not forget to do your best, be your best, and God will do the absolute rest. I love you so much and have a blessed day. Bye.